0 victory over Everton. We spoke about Manchester United's dominance before the break, Leon, but how do you sum up Everton's day?
Frustrating, I suppose, to come and lose without really having a proper go, certainly in that second half. But you can't argue Manchester United were by far the better team in all the crucial areas of the field. Had a number of chances where it could have been even more than two. But Everton will feel that both goals they conceded were avoidable. So frustration in those sense of terms. But yeah, but as I said, Manchester United were comfortably the better team. And
it was a goal in each half that did the damage, Paul. Could they both have been avoided, do you think?
Well, Leon seems to think so. I just thought it was good play from Manchester United, especially the first goal. I think the pass from Jadon. We know Jadon's been a little bit quiet, but that's what he's good at. He's good at them little tight areas, produce intricate, lovely weighted passes. Good from Scott McTominay, good bit of movement. You see, it's difficult to get through all that. It's a bit of a mess there for Everton. There's 10 players behind the ball. And it's a lovely pass from Sancho and well finished at the near post.
Well, there's four tackles there that, you know, Everton have lost to Marcus Rashford in 50-50 tackles on the edge of the penalty area. And then in that crucial moment, great run by McTominay. You're right, positive from Manchester United's point of view.
You've got to accept good play sometimes.
Is that right? Yeah. I always had to against you.
To be fair, that could have been 5 or 6, couldn't it, by that time? Anyway.
No, it could, yeah. I mean, conceding again, but then, you know, again,
a mistake from Coleman.
A mistake that's led to the second goal that finished the game off. So, as I said, question marks whether he was actually offside, but
it was reset.
You know, it reset it, I suppose. But no,
clutching it. Yeah.
I am, but yeah, as I said, a game where Everton didn't pose enough threat. Manchester United could have won. The chances they had, Jordan Pickford was outstanding, but the 2 goals they actually conceded were avoidable from Everton's point of view. So frustrating.
They've combined for 20 goals, Martial and Rashford. How big is it having Martial back fit? Because it feels like it gels a lot better when they're both playing.
It does, and certainly with Marcus Rashford maybe looking like he could miss some time as well. So having him back is important. But they look like they enjoy playing together, and the team looks more balanced. I think having the both of them in the team, it offsets that they have more penetration, you know, rather than Marcus Rashford being the one running behind Sancho and Anthony coming to feet all the time, although Anthony did in the first half running behind a little bit more. I think they give lovely balance with both of them in the team. But from United's perspective, I was just really impressed, and I think you know, they're fighting on all 3 fronts. They're going to need all of their squad. Eriksen back in as well today. That gives them a little bit more quality in the midfield. So many options for Ten Hag.
How big is it to have Martial back for the running? Because he's spoken about how physically fragile he is.
Yeah, look, it's great to have him back. We all know the quality he's got. It's just can he get through it now? Can he get through to the end of the season? It's not. He hasn't got a great record fitness-wise, but we all know how good a player he is. If he's playing in this team, he's scoring 20 goals, 20 to 25 goals, and that adds up then to that gap. There is a big gap in goals between United and Liverpool and City and Arsenal. But like you say, it's a little bit of a blow with Rashford. Just hope he's okay, because you know, just as Marcus comes back, then he goes out. Them two together play really well. They have some kind of link that has been missing in forward areas, and they're both very dangerous. And look, I hope Marcus is okay, and it gives you that option. And as I said before the game, you need 4 or 5 players who will contribute to try and get you up to 70, 80 goals. And I think Martial and Marcus together could possibly bring half of those.
Yeah, they really need to hope that Rashford injury is nothing serious. Here, though, Old Trafford becoming a fortress. It was a really good atmosphere here today. 24 unbeaten, and they were completely dominant. The chances they had, Joe, in that first half, 21 shots, which is a record for any half this season.
Yeah, completely dominant. And going back to the points before, they've got so much threat, so they do need to score more goals from different areas. But it was just flowing today. You know, Wan-Bissaka won't be happy with that. Luckily, he was offside. But this is what Anthony done particularly well in the first half. He got in behind. He just needs to brush up on this last little finish. Can he open his body up? But again, he got in all too easy down Everton's left-back channel in the first half, and then Sean Dyche made the change at half-time. But United just flowed, and there's options. And I think having Bruno and Eriksen in the team, and with a front 3 in front of them, I think they're going to create chances and they're going to score goals. And if you're a Man United fan, there's a lot to look forward to.
The fact they didn't take more of those chances, is that just going to increase the talk, Leon, about what they need to do in the summer?
Absolutely. You know, as Paul says, you need your striker to score 25 goals plus minimum, but everybody has to contribute if you're gonna have success. Your midfielders need to get 8, 10 goals. Your wide men need to get 10 or 12 goals. So until you reach those standards, everybody will be questioned, because that's how you make the team better, by questioning people, by asking, by demanding of people, right through to the manager, to the players. And if that's not the case, then to make the next step, to bridge that gap between where they are now and Arsenal and Manchester City, then they will have to look at strengthening.
Well, it's back-to-back wins this week for Manchester United, the best home defence as well in the league this season. Would that have been one of the first tasks and challenges Ten Hag had when he came here to improve that home form, Paul? Because the fear factor had gone.
Yeah, I'd gone a little bit. I think teams are probably finding it too easy to come here and score goals and win games. But I was a little bit surprised by that stat, to be honest with you. But look, you have to give them credit. And they've changed the back four quite a lot. You know, there hasn't always been a regular back four which you'd associate with a team doing really well.
There was 3 changes today just from Wednesday.
Yeah, well, I thought the manager got the team right today. I think he freshened it up from Wednesday. They obviously played at the weekend as well. Coming from Wednesday to a Saturday morning can be quite difficult, so he freshened it up perfectly well. And you know, you see how sharp they were. And look, we talk about goals. That really should have been a 5 or 6-0 game today to get them up towards them levels, but it wasn't, Leon. Luckily enough for you. But look, in better, more important games, you know, missing them chances might become more critical. But today, it was quite comfortable.
It was a quick turnaround, but it has been a very good week for Eric Ten Hag. Let's hear from him with Des Kelly.
Eric, lots of good things we saw out there today, and a brilliant first half. But I suppose you're just happy to finish the job.
Yeah, we have to be more clinical, clear, more ruthless, box off the opponent. I think this game has to be already finished by half-time. We didn't, but as you say, it was a brilliant performance, and that's very good if you play 3 games in 6 days, and then you can deliver this. So there's a big compliment to the team.
That first half was the most shots that has been seen in the Premier League in any half, which is quite special, 21.
I think we played very good. I think in and out of possession. So big compliment to the team performance. And when many players on the pitch, they played in a high level.
And McTominay scored the goal, as he's been doing for Scotland. He's a player who always gives 100%.
He's a great player, great personality. So happy I have him in my squad. So give always energy, never giving up. So yeah, it's great.
And when you want to kill the game and get that second goal, it's handy to have Anthony Martial on the pitch.
Yeah, I think once again, players who are coming from the bench with us, having an impact, scoring goals, but also contribute in other departments of the team. But scoring goals, and we have many subs came on in this season so far who have an impact, score goals.
We talked about Bruno's position deeper in midfield before the match, but he was pulling the strings today, wasn't he?
Oh, I think he was brilliant, but I think he's already playing brilliant over many games in the deeper role. Not everyone is recognizing, but also even last week in Newcastle, he was playing very well. This week against Brentford, he was really well, and today, brilliant game. But I said he was definitely one of the best players, maybe the best player on the pitch, but I think we had more. We're in a quite high level.
Marcus Rashford, is he okay? He looked a little bit trouble coming off the pitch.
We have to wait. Doesn't look well. So once again, that is due to the shadow. It can't be that you play 3 games in 6 days. And we have to protect our players. And everyone wants that the best players are on the pitch. Everyone wants to see great entertaining football like today, but then you need your best players.
You got a big step today. Grab that 3rd place for the time being. It's an important win, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's a win and we have to move on. But of course, I'm happy when you are in April and you're playing on this level against an Everton, what's hard to beat is. We've seen it in the last weeks. It was a really strong team in the survival mode. They are doing a great job there. And if then you play on this level, so that's good to know. And that gives belief and confidence for the future.
Thank you very much, Eric.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Eric Ten Hag talking about the schedule perhaps being responsible for that injury to Marcus Rashford. They've already played more games than anyone in Europe, and the schedule doesn't get any easier because they've still got another 6 games in April, Paul. It's tough, but I guess it's a big positive that they're still fighting on 3 fronts.
Exactly. If you want to be winning trophies, you're going to be playing games, and they have to be ready for that. He's got the squad in. Over the last year, he doesn't really use his squad that much, but I think over the last couple of weeks especially, he's started to realise that he needs it. You know, today they freshened up 3 or 4 positions and look really sharp again. And yeah, there's a lot of games to go, but we want games. You know, we want to be getting to finals of competitions, and that's what we're in this business for. That's what Man United are here for. They want to win trophies, and for this year, settling for the top 4 place as well is good enough.
Sevilla coming here on Thursday live on BT Sport. They've got Brighton in the FA Cup as well. That race for the top 4 still very much on, Leon. What else do you think they can achieve this season?
Well, they believe they can win both cup competitions and finish in the top 4 that remain, and it could be an absolutely fantastic season for Manchester United. As Paul said before, the injury to Marcus Rashford will be a concern with those huge cup games coming up. Sevilla here, a game where you need to come out and be positive, and you need your goal scorers to be at their very best, and he's been by far United's best player this season, so you don't want him missing in this crucial run-in. You don't want them missing in April, so they'll hope for the best. They'll hope that this is at best a touch of cramp, at worst, you know, a 10-day injury where maybe they'll get him back for the second leg if that's some sort of strain.
Yeah, he looked in some discomfort as he walked up the tunnel. Ten Hag said it didn't look good. And we spoke a lot before the game about their over-reliance on him, Joe. They've got to hope it's nothing serious.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't look too serious, to be honest. When it's a groin, I think you can get away with things. And like Ozzy said, I think a 10-day injury, he'll be back for the second leg. But they've got to manage the squad. You know, Martial's a little bit fragile. Weghorst doesn't seem to be the answer in that number 9 position, and this is the crucial time of the season. Forget the first 6-7 months of the season. Come April and May, if you're competing for all these trophies, this is when you've got to perform. This is when you've got to be peaking. I think they've got enough bodies. I think they've got enough quality in the squad to compete on all 3 fronts. And I think from Marcus Rashford, I would just like to see him on the pitch all the time because he's so good at the moment. But it needs to be spread out. The games need to be spread out because like you said, Thursday, Sunday, Tuesday, there's so many important games for United, and they need to find that right balance.
Yeah, he does have Casemiro coming back as well from suspension, and Eriksen, of course, back in action today. Everton, though, a 2-0 defeat for them today and still very much in a relegation fight. Let's hear from Sean Dyche. He's joined Des.
Sean, that was a tough afternoon. You particularly tested in that first half, but you managed to stay in it for a long time.
Well, I think we're bringing a bit of resilience to what we do. A lot of it was self-inflicted, to be fair, first half. They're a good side, we know that. Only lost 1 at home. That's a story in itself. But we're self-inflicted, getting done with straight balls and not tuning into the game quick enough. On the other hand, bailed ourselves out with some good last-ditch defending, some good last-ditch saves from Jordan when needed. And you're sort of in it. You know, we have a golden chance at the end of the day, and you don't get many of them when you come to a place like this. And that might, by the way, have just changed the feel of what was going on.
Was it a high line that was the problem? They were just getting...
No, just their direct football. They just saw it quicker than we did. You know, the players that they've got there, they can mix and match the game. You know, they can play if they have to, but they can be direct and just straight balls. I mean, that's something that at this level of the market, you don't want to be getting done with straight balls.
Were you surprised to be in the game still after that many chances?
Well, like I say, it's a mixture of you want your keeper to make saves. It's his job. You want your centre halves to work hard, and they did. You want to work last ditch when you have to, because you do at a place like this, and we did. So it's one of them. You don't want that to happen generally, but when it needs to happen, then it happened. And you know, we were in it to at least scramble. Then the second half, we calmed the game down better. We created a few moments which could have, you know, our challenge is to still ask more, of course, in the goal scoring department and the chance creation, which we've done better. And then it's finding the final moments, and they did with it's a slight mistake, but they react quickly and finish for the second, and then, you know, your chance of getting back into it then is slim.
So now the fight goes on, it's going to go on to the wire, isn't it?
Well, it's just, we haven't changed the fight. The fight's there for all to see. It's about our mentality, and I think it's been growing. I think it's a reminder of the truth of what's in front of you when you're playing these top sides today. You know, that's just a reality of the game. We've had 3 tough games, and we've got 2 points out of it. Doesn't sound a lot, but you know, that's a fair return, and the manner in which we've got them points. Today was a bit of a soft one. Today's where it's a clear reminder of we've got to do all the basics right constantly through a game. Too many mistakes, too many turnovers when we could have affected the game and we didn't.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.